Hey guys, so this is another shop video, and this time around is for March of 2024. And a few players were pretty nervous this time around because the developers did not mention anything about changing the heroes in the shop. So they were really nervous, like they're not gonna add it, they're not gonna add it. But they did add it, change it, whatever. And the main thing is that it doesn't matter if it's not added in the patch note. It doesn't mean that it's not going to be done. So in this situation, they did do it, and they actually added pretty good options here. For the first one here, let's talk about this guy over here, Garabeth. Garabeth, ever since she was released, she's an absolute monster. In the beginning of the game, she was an absolute monster. Everybody wanted Garabeth, and then Palmyra came in and completely dethroned her. And ever since, she has not seen a lot of play, sadly. However, some players have had her maxed out, and I've been really impressed of how she actually performs, especially if she has her weapon at least at +2. +3 is good, but she has to die to make that happen. So yeah, +2 is more than fine for Garabeth's weapon in that situation. She dodges, she does a bunch of things, and if the enemy uses a hero that is multi-hit, and he or she starts to actually shoot Garabeth in that situation, or even uses Alden versus her in the front of the team, yeah, that's going to eliminate anybody, sometimes even the whole team. That situation, she'll be actually dodging about 90% with her weapon at a +2 awakening there. So yeah, Garabeth, if you use her correctly, she's going to be a very powerful hero in that situation. Very powerful stuff, and yeah, highly recommended to upgrade her weapon. If you decide to get her, most likely you already have her. She's been since the beginning of the game, and yeah, you know. So, Midas, I have no idea why they added Midas. Midas has literally been in the hero shop for like forever, freaking ever, guys. So I'm actually surprised that they added Midas here in that situation. But even though he has been in the shop for ages, literally years in the shop there, that doesn't mean that he's a bad hero. He's a pretty powerful hero. If you're starting the game, if you don't have Midas, highly recommend to get Midas. That is no question about that. If you don't have Midas, you got to get Midas. That guy is an excellent whip holder. His weapon awaken is pretty sick. A lot of people have been ignoring it for a long time. Not if you combine him with Apollo, him going off every single freaking turn. It's pretty disgusting, guys. So yeah, Midas has a lot of uses. Raises the survivability of your team, and a very important piece for the shield team on defense. So very powerful stuff, guys. You gotta get Midas if you don't have him. Now, by far, one of the most disgusting heroes in the history of the game is Elmis. I mean, yeah, if you have any doubts of actually getting Elmis, you got to check yourself, guys, because even beginning of the game, there was like an offer for like $10, $15, and they give you the option of between 3 heroes, and one of them was Elmis, Fiona. I don't remember the third one. However, like 90% of the players would choose Elmis. For some reason, I chose Fiona, and at that moment, I regretted it so much. I mean, as I was starting the game, I didn't know much at the time. However, yeah, Elmis, yeah, every single player in the entire freaking game uses Elmis for a reason. Dispelling, adding mana on defense right off the bat when he dispels, and creating stones when you're attacking with him. His weapon gains a bunch of mana game, and now with lifesteal you actually heal. His weapon most of the time is gonna stack 3 times. It's pretty disgusting. And yeah. His weapon awaken at +3 is pretty insane. Like the best players in the game, the highest level players in the game have this weapon awaken at least at +2. The best ones definitely have it in +3. +3, he's able to freaking revive if he gets killed. So yeah, Elmis is a must-have of must-haves in the game. Even though he's an old hero, it doesn't matter. A lot of people say like the new heroes are so overpowering, dude, whatever. But there's some old heroes that are so essential that there's no player that cannot have those types of heroes, and Elmas is one of those heroes. If you don't have Elmas, you're missing out of too much in the game. Yeah, for sure. If you're starting off the game and you're using purple, if you don't have Elmas, you're not gonna perform very well. It doesn't matter which team you're using, guys. Now, for the second one here, I mean, another thing, like I keep hearing people saying like the new heroes are so powerful, things like that. The old heroes are not doing anything, blah blah blah. I mean, Cathbad is right now being used by the top guilds in their second or third teams on defense for a reason. This guy is another hero that ever since the game started, this guy has been so broken every single time, every single way. Attack, defense, whatever, PvP, PvE a little less, but PvE he's still used in campaigns, things like that, because some heroes do get shroomed and things like that, and you do need the mana. And this guy +5 goes like a machine. He gains like 50% extra mana after going off after some time. So he's pretty much gonna go off every single turn, especially on defense. It's disgusting, guys, to see. So yeah, I mean, this guy is so powerful. Even at +0, everybody wanted to use this guy just for the power of shrooming the entire freaking team when they have damage here. I mean, yeah, enough said, guys. Enough said. If you don't have Cathbad, you have to get him. I mean, yeah, for sure. No questions asked, guys. No questions asked. Now, this guy, Soer, there was a time in the game that he was the highest damage dealer in yellow. However, those times have passed. Crowley is the queen of damage in yellow, for sure. By far, no questions asked. So Soer, sadly, even players that only have Soer don't usually use Soer so much. So I can't really recommend you to actually summon this one, sadly, because very few players use him. You are able to use him, but he is a slow hero. He will get the mana back if you have another hero from his faction and give him the debuff to the enemy, but yeah, it's not happening, guys. Sorry. Soer is good for PvE, but that's pretty much it. I can't recommend you to actually use all your actual tokens to actually go for this hero. However, if you're a completionist and you don't have them, yeah, sure, go ahead. If you have a lot of tokens, sure, that's fine, guys. Now, the very last one. Oh, I've been waiting so long for this guy to be available. You're cool. So a lot of people. So if you have enough, the tokens, yeah, he's highly recommended to actually get. He is by far the best shield breaker in blue in the entire game. The amount of damage he does, the type of things that he actually does are so freaking powerful. Like, there is even some fights in playing with blue that if you don't have to cool, you have a lot of problems. Probably if you have Gwendolyn, when you have her awaken at +3, you can somewhat lower the shields, but it's not going to lower the shields by 100%, unless it's stacked. It could remove it, but if it's already there, yeah, it's gonna be a problem. So that's when Jakul comes in. He breaks the shields. He makes other heroes go in and do a bunch of damage in that situation once the shields are broken. And remember, shields are cut the damage by 50%, so you have to break the shields. You have to destroy that, and Jakul is the master of doing this. And in PvE versus bosses, go ahead and see the video that I made for him. A still good video for him. He destroys bosses like in so many ways. Like every single time I bring him in, he's always smashing. He's always doing all the damage that you need to get high scores. Even if it's not the best hero at that moment, he's always doing so much freaking damage. It's not even funny, guys. And this, like many other heroes that I mentioned in the shop, you're able to get him to +5 in this situation through events. So yeah, there's no reason why you should ignore this hero. Go ahead and get this guy guys, if you really use blue, you have a good amount of good blue heroes. You definitely get your cool and get them to +5 as soon as possible. You will not regret it. Now, out of these three panels here, out of all these 5-star heroes, who do I recommend like number one to have? I mean, if you don't have Elmas, you gotta get Elmas. That is the number one option by far. I mean, yeah. If you don't have Elmas, you gotta check yourself, and you gotta get this guy at +5 as soon as possible. There's no doubt about that. And Cathbad, if you don't have Cathbad, you gotta get Cathbad. There's no question about that. He is such a broken hero. It's disgusting, guys. And if last but not least, Jokul in this situation. Jokul, as I said, if you have a good or a decent blue team and you're having problems destroying the enemy in PvP, this guy's going to make it happen. PvE as well, that's going to happen. So chances are you already have Elmas, you already have Cathbad, and this is going to be the option, Jokul. I do recommend for sure to get Jokul at +5, for sure, with events. Pretty much all these heroes, you're able to get them to +5 with events. So that is a very, very awesome choice in that situation. So I really like in this shop. So yeah, very cool, guys. All right, guys, if you have any questions, if you have any concerns, please leave it in the comments and we'll talk about it. All right, thank you very much for watching, guys. Have a great day. Bye-bye.